All right, AP Scholars, we're in for the big question here. This is the exercise 6, the D6 program, which now has some sort of iteration, so you can keep rolling over and over and over again. So we're going to make this in Bluge. Going to make a new class called D6. Clicking OK. Clearing out the junk. Maybe. There we go. Bringing in scanner. Import scanner, java.util.scanner. And we're going to make our class name. And then we'll make the, public static void main string args. So we're making the main method, which of course is where all the code begins. So first thing we got to do is make some variables. So make our variables, probably make the scanner first. I like to call it SC, but it could be named anything. It could literally be named anything, but I don't want to confuse anybody with what anything is. But just so you know, it's just a variable name, and you can name it what you want. This part you got to do the same though. It is going to be system.in. That means it's reading from the terminal. We're going to need a few more variables. We're going to need a number of dice, because that's something that people can select that uses program. We're going to record what the die roll is for each d6 that we roll. We got to figure out what the total is after rolling all those dice. And there's a string that we answer. It's going to be like yes or no. And we'll initialize it to yes, actually, because when our while loop starts, that's our first thing we're going to say, like, do you want to play again? So that's going to be good, that if it's already yes, we don't have to do anything about it. So we'll start with yes. I'll assume that we at least want to play once. So now let's actually begin with that aspect of it. So I want to actually put in my while loop, and I'm going to say while answer dot equals y. And this is, sorry, no semicolon. This is not spelled right. Hold on. This is the way you compare two strings to see if they're equal. We're comparing to see if this string here, which obviously is y, is equal to y. Then we'll actually do you want to play again? And I'm going to do that part first. So before we do any rolling, I'm going to do the ask to continue code. So I think it says again. Pardon me. It's getting late. This is note.print. Like most prompts, I like to say print because I don't want, I want the answer to go on the end of the line, not afterwards on a separate line. So I'll say again. Yes, no. And I'll put a space there, and then we'll actually read that in. So we'll say ands, that's the name of my string that I'm using to read, equals sc.next. And I'm using next here, by the way. It's important to know to use next because next is going to read in a single character, and it gets messed up by previous next ints because the new line character from those ends up carrying over. Pardon me. So you can't use next line here. It has to be next. Next line would take in the extra new line character from previous next ints and mess things up. So just use next for reading in like the yes no for this. Should work out pretty well. And then I'll put in a print line just to separate this from one run to the next. So I just want to run this. This obviously doesn't roll any dice, but that's how you do programming. On anything that's a little bit big, you want to test things one piece at a time. So do I want to play again? Yes. Do I want to play again? Yes. Do I want to play again? No. That got screwed up because I pressed enter by accident. So it looks like it's working pretty well. I think I would probably adjust that space. I didn't actually press space. I talked about pressing space, but I didn't press space. So I'll put that in. So it looks like this, again, yes, no thing is working pretty well. I think I will just run it one more time to see if that's working now. So I want to run again. Yes. There we go. Yes. 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 No. And it ends. Okay, great. So it looks like good. It looks good. So now I can put in my actual dice rolling code. So let's see. I guess we'll want to, inside of our loop, because we want to repeat that dice rolling code, we'll say something about system.out.println. This will be my get input, I guess, area. Get input. And I'll say something like, how many D6s do you want to roll? And pardon me. I will make that a print, actually, because it's a prompt. So I want the answer to go on the end of it. And then I'll read that in. That's going to be numDice. So I'll say numDice equals sc.next int. And I think that's all I want. I just have to roll the dice. Roll and add up the dice. So that's the next section. So I want to roll in a loop. So I will roll numDice number of times and generate those dice rolls each time. So this will be a good idea to do a for loop because it's a predetermined number, or at least we know what it is going into the loop. So I can say for int I equals 0, I is less than numDice, I plus plus. And each time what I'm going to do is I'm going to, I guess, generate the random die roll, and then print out the random die roll, and then add it to the total. And then eventually, afterwards, I will show the total. Excuse me. So let's do it. I think there's a prompt, actually. You rolled. So I'm going to put that prompt here. System.out.print. I want to use print, by the way, because the dice sort of will tile out each roll that will be displayed horizontally across the line. So I'll say you rolled, colon, and I'll have a space there again. So the print's really important to make that work. I think maybe I was supposed to do a line break here as well, just to keep the formatting. So just put in a quick print line to put a little line break. Okay, and now we'll generate those numbers. So I'll say die roll equals. This is how you generate the random number. We covered that in a previous thing. Random times 6 plus 1. I guess you could put the parens in different places, but I think that'll solve it. And then we could say total equal, we'll do plus equals die roll. And then we'll want to print out die roll. Man, typing's just not my thing. We'll put in the die roll, and then I want to give it a space for the next die roll. So I'll do plus space, and then that's basically all I need to do for that for loop. I'll just roll the dice, numDice number of times now, and I guess it should also print the total. So afterwards, I guess I'd have a line break here too. So let's just copy that. And then I have a total, but there's another line break, so I'll copy that too. And your, it just says total. So I'll put in plus total. So the idea is that it will loop through, rolling the random die, adding it to the total, and so on. So that looks pretty good, right? Well, let's find out how that works. Let's see. Oh, I missed a semicolon. Sure. Okay, so I don't think they're quite done yet, but we'll see how it looks. So how many d6s do you want to roll? Well, let's roll 5d6. That's the fireball damage in Dungeons & Dragons. So it says 5, 2, 1, 3, 4. If you add that up, that's 15 damage. Is it 5d6 or 60? I think this is 66, actually. I don't know. 8d6? It's like 8d6. I don't know what it is. I'll have to look it up sometime. But anyways, 5, 2, 1, 3, 4. So that's 5 and 2 is 7 plus 3. 5 and 2 is 7 plus 3. Yeah, it's 10 plus 1 and 4 is 15. So let's try again. Now here's where I think I will see a problem. So let's again. How many d6s do I roll? Let's roll 8. And then check this out. I got 42. But 1 plus 5 is 6 plus 1 is 7. Plus 6 is 13. Plus another 6 is 19. And then plus 8 is 27. So where's 42 coming from? Well, it's keeping the old total. We have to actually reset the total. And I don't know if I did that in my my answer key or not. So I'm going to say, no, let's not play again. So another thing we're going to have to do is just reset our variables. So if I go back to Blue Jay, the last thing I want to do is at the end, before I loop, I might want to just reset total. So I'm going to say reset total. So I could say total equals 0. Another thing we could do is just declare these variables inside of the loop, and then they'll automatically initialize each time through the loop. So that would be another way to do it. I don't think we have to redo num dice or die roll. Those get redone automatically every time we just read stuff in. So I think that will solve the problem. Okay, there we go, everybody. I hope you had success in writing this or in understanding this video. If you didn't have success in writing this code, again, don't feel shy at all to ask questions about it. This one's a pretty tough one, maybe the hardest one we've done so far. So please do give that a shot and let me know if you have questions. Thanks, everybody.